All right, that's actually how we should do it, right? That, and then this. Right, Arena. Alrighty. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Creature spells or creatures. Does this not also say activate abilities of creatures? Or activate abilities of creatures? Hello? Game? Can I? No. Wow. That's fun. What's up, everybody? My name's Chance, and today we're going to be diving into a Strixhaven Stadium ambush deck, which is, I gotta say, is a super awesome idea and execution of this little thing, if I do say so myself. Anyways, today we're going to be focusing on this card, obviously, Strixhaven Stadium. 3-mana artifact. Whenever it enters the battlefield, you can tap it, add a colorless mana, and put a point counter on Strixhaven Stadium. And obviously, every turn it untaps, you can retap it and add that point counter. So, it's kind of nice. Furthermore, whenever a creature deals combat damage to you, you're going to remove a point counter from Strixhaven Stadium. We'll get to that point later. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to an opponent, put a point counter on Strixhaven Stadium. Then, if it has 10 or more point counters on it, remove them all, and that player loses the game. Again, I think it's talking about your opponent with this thing, so essentially you get to 10 point counters, you win the game, right? It's an alt-win con that I've been trying to figure out and solve, and I think I finally did it. So, whenever the opponent attacks, you're going to lose point counters, and whenever you attack and it connects, vice versa, you're going to gain point counters. So the main goal here is to just get to 10, right? Get to 10 and leave it. Because it doesn't have to get to the end step. It doesn't have to get to your upkeep. It doesn't have to get to your next turn. It just says then, if it has 10 or more point counters, remove them all. So as soon as your creatures connect, as soon as you hit 10, you win, right? 10 to win. So I got to thinking, like, how, 3 mana is not a whole lot to deal with, right? But as soon as this enters the battlefield, you get the effect on it. So my idea here, sorry, can't say that sentence without cracking up a little bit. My idea here is to play Elvish Ambush alongside Strixhaven Stadium to, well, essentially by turn 4, have all your stuff. Have all the stuffs and the things. Actually, it'd be turn 5, but either way. Still win con by turn 5 using Strixhaven Stadium and Elvish Ambush, and for that, I'm happy. Now, this deck isn't solely reliant upon this combo in order to win. Matter of fact, it's more reliant on other things that we have just sort of laying around that ends up coming into effect. But the combo's there and it's fun. So the combo goes Jaspera Sentinel on turn 1, Elvish War Master on turn 2. Now, obviously, whenever one or more other elves enter the battlefield under your control, create a 1/1 green elf creature token this turn. With this ability, you're able to create a lot of additional elves. And then because Elvish Ambush, 4 mana, instant speed, create a 1/1 green elf warrior creature token for each elf you control. It has the ability to essentially double your board state as long as your board state consists of only elves. Well, you can kind of see where I'm going. So, turn 1 Sentinel, turn 2 War Master, turn 3, you can drop either another War Master if you just got so lucky, right? Or let's spread out the cards, and let's say you got a Skimfar. And then on your opponent's turn, because you have the Sentinel down, you have other creatures that are untapped that you can tap to add additional mana. And again, it's turn 3, and we're being in this pseudo world where we can just kind of hit things perfectly. So again, this is a little finicky, but the point's still there. You hit your Wildborn. Now, Elvish War Master procs once each turn, which means when you drop the Skimfar, you're going to add an additional 1/1 token, right? So on your turn 3, you're going to have 4 creatures down. On their turn 3, you're going to have 6 creatures down, right? Because, well, everything I just explained. Come turn 4, you got the Elvish Ambush up and ready, waiting. You're not going to do anything unless you have another Sentinel or maybe a Valentin, something like that. Onto the opponent's turn 4, drop the ambush, you get all those 1/1s. Now you're up to like 12, right? Just say whenever 13, sorry. And then obviously come back to your turn. It's turn 6. You drop Strixhaven Stadium. All those elves can now attack because they entered the battlefield on your opponent's turn. Summoning Sickness is off. And well, you know, you got like 13 units to swing in with, and you only need to gain 10 counters on this. Whenever you tap it, you add a counter. So realistically, you're adding 14 counters to Strixhaven Stadium all in one turn on turn 6, which, again, pretty solid way to win, right? Or if not solid, fun. Now, you could potentially cast Elvish Ambush on turn 3, right? If you go Sentinel, War Master, turn 3, add a land down, and then, but you're only gonna get 2 units. I'm pretty sure that's how this is gonna work, because since the elf won't be entering the battlefield till after, so I have thought about that as well. But well, you'd be getting 3 units total, but you're gonna get 2, and then those 2 will proc the 1. So you'd get up to 5, but it's gonna be a waste of your ambush, is basically what I'm saying. But if you do have 2 ambushes in hand, you can use ambush instead of using the Skimfar and the Wildborn, because obviously doubling your numbers and then doubling it again, well, I mean, that's a great way to do it. Anyways, outside of the combo, because I've been talking about that for like the past 10 minutes, we do have other ways to get to Strixhaven Stadium win cons and other ways to just win in general. So we're playing a Vorinclex Monstrous Raider, which, you know, Vorinclex Elves has been a thing, well, for a little bit now. And then we also have the Great Hinge, which of course works well with Vorinclex, given that Vorinclex, if we would put 1 or more counters on a permanent or player, put twice that many of each of those kinds of counters on that permanent or player instead. Similarly, including? Furthermore, that's the word I'm looking for. If an opponent would put 1 or more counters, they put half. So we X-nay all of our opponent's sagas and, you know, all that kind of stuff. The nice thing with this is it doubles the amount of counters that we're getting with Strixhaven Stadium. So we tap it. Now we're going to put 2-point counters on it instead of 1. We swing in with Vorinclex, which has haste. Again, if it connects, which it has trample and haste, I think it should be able to connect. Put 2 more, right? So that's 4 counters on Strixhaven Stadium, all within the turn that Vorinclex enters the battlefield. Just not to mention if you've managed to gather up any others, or if on the next turn you can swing in with any more creatures. So yeah, it's pretty good. And again, you can win just with the beatdown, because we do have things such as Polychranus, Vorinclex. We have Garrett to create you these, you know, 2/2 Black Wolves that can either defend, awesome, swing in, help to add to the stadium counters. You can remove stuff, draw cards. The emblem, obviously a great way to pull out a victory. Great Hinge is going to do what it does, allow you to draw tons of cards off your lower end, top end, all that kind of stuff. And of course, the +1/+1 counters getting added up with Vorinclex. It's just that much sweetener? That much sweeter. English is hard for me. We do have a one-off Polychranus. I kind of like Polychranus more than what I thought I would in this deck, and going up to 2 certainly wouldn't hurt my feelings. So do that if you want to. Valentine felt a little out of place, but also just didn't get a game where I was like, yeah, I mean, it's just doing what it does. But it is a nice card, and being able to have the 4-mana 4/4 on the flip side that can allow you to put a +1/+1 counter on each creature per tappage of Great Hinge. Well, that's pretty cool. You know, it's a little more niche than just playing the 1-mana card that can potentially gain you a lot of creatures that helps to win the game quicker. But it has its uses here and there and everywhere. And the Skimfars, you know, the Skimfars are nice because they allow you to draw additional cards here and there, and again, everywhere, just off the destruction of your own elves, which is going to be happening, right? Not every game is going to go perfect, and so I think this deck is, yeah, decently accustomed to deal with those decks, or those times that don't go perfect. I will say this, I think 3 copies of Strixhaven Stadium is a bit much, and I think 3 copies of Elvish Ambush is a bit much. I think if you're playing this deck seriously, take out 1 of each. It's a great combo. It's a fun combo. If you get to go off, fantastic. But the efficiency that you're going to be losing and having 3 of each of those is a little steep. And then what that'll allow you to do is come back, add an additional copy of Polychranus, add some, you know, early game removal, that kind of stuff. Because I'm not going to lie, I have things like Heroic Intervention in the deck, and part of that is just to help me make sure that when it comes time to do the combo, the opponent doesn't destroy it all. Do you actually need Heroic Intervention? I mean, it's not bad given you have Elven Ambush, but is it necessarily better than some targeted removal? In the current state of the meta, I don't know. I know board wipe's a heavy thing, but you also got Polychranus. And, you know, we could go on this topic forever. Thanks everybody for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this deck tech breakdown, which turned into a little bit of a rant about the Magic meta. But, you know what I mean, whatever. So let's dive into the matches. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like down below. Comment on what your favorite part of this deck is, and of course, subscribe if you're new here and you want to see more awesome content from yours truly. Without further ado, let's go ambush the stadium, huh? Rocksta. Socksta? Yeah, we can keep this. It's not that bad. It's not the golden combo, as I'll call it, but it's not too bad. I'm actually gonna go ahead and drop a Fabled here as well, since we don't have a turn 1 play. Yeah, why not? Why to the not, man? That's probably gonna be it from our foe. It's Yorion, Snorion, Boreon. Let's go ahead and grab a Swamp out. And hey, there's another one for our troubles. I am gonna go ahead and drop this War Master. You never know when the Elvish route's just gonna take over, take control. Birth of Melittus. Poly K. All day, all day. The nice thing about Polycranis is it's 4 mana. I always forget that. Like, even whenever I was building this deck, I was like, man, Polycranis is only 4 mana? That's like the perfect little in-between of like what we're trying to do in the lower end and, you know, a big bad scary guy on the top end. So happy to have it in a Strixhaven Stadium. Let's go. We're just, everything's coming up Millhouse. So we already have that swamp in hand. I don't think we need to grab another one per se. Per se. Sorry, I don't know why I thought that was funny. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and drop a ball of Granis. Like I was saying before, they only have 1 blue mana, which means if they have counter magic, it'll have to be creature specific or dispute. I guess we can't dispute that. Whatever. Alright, so next turn we're going up to 5 mana. I don't like this. Anytime you see Teferi, you know there's gonna be trouble. Fabled. Let's go ahead and drop the Fabled. Next turn we will have enough for the Vorinclex, and well, their Teferi will probably just time it out, you know what I mean? But that's okay. So we're to 5 here. I'm sorry, we're to 6 here? Oh no, because the castle. Oh, that's even better. So they're definitely going to phase it out here. Right? Right. Ooh. Oh, no. Alright. Alright, we got to go with this. I was trying to figure some way to like, I can use Tend the Pest and get double counters on Strixhaven Stadium, so I could produce a lot of counters out of nowhere. Oh, you silly goose. Don't you know this creature has... I mean, I guess we're only dealing 2 to it, right? 4? I mean, good enough for me, right? Anyways, I was trying to figure out some way to use Tend the Pest and try to maximize counters with Strixhaven Stadium, but this is alright. On this next turn, we can drop Strixhaven, maybe add, what, 2, 4, 6? We could potentially add 6 counters to Strixhaven on this turn. We'll see, of course. That's, you know, I like how Azorius, these control decks are always like, oh damn, if I don't hit a board wipe this next turn, things might get a little tricky. And then they hit the board wipe and you're like, oh, what the, you know, that's just coincidental. That's just coincidental. I could have went for a Stadium there and then played Binding. That should have been the play. My mind was on Sentinel and I was like, I want to get the Sentinel down before I get other creatures down. It's just, yeah, probably not the smartest. But it's fine. It's alright. I was too caught up in my forethought of... you know, talk about convenience. When you talk about convenience, though... Should have grabbed one of my Triumphs. That's fine. We can just cycle it later. Probably, okay, how many? You have 6? 6. You're joking me. Yes, Rocksta, I'm playing a fun deck. One that doesn't include Shatters, Teferis, Snorions, Boreons, Counterspells. That's true. Alright, in turn. Now what we can do here actually is a cheeky little Tend the Pest on our Jaspira to make sure their Trawler doesn't hit us, but honestly it doesn't really matter, you know? It does not really matter here. Because we're trying to win with this thing, and since we don't have any counters on it, well, it doesn't really matter if they remove them or not. So do it. Do it. Hit me. We really need to get one more card in the graveyard, though. That way we can bring back Poly K and it can go to town. How much mana do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Potentially 7, depending. Potentially 7. Is that Skyclave going for my stadium? Yeah. You know, this is the point where we just say GG. They had, you know, they had the counter on turn 3. They had the board wipe on turn 4. Enjoy your day. Don't ruin it for yourself. Just move on to the next. Alrighty, Gabriel Ikarios. And this is an interesting hand because the game has chosen to give me 2 Fableds off the Ripperoonie again. That's sure, whatever. We'll make do. We will make do. I think we go Fabled Forest. We can also drop this turn too. But yeah, of the combination of lands, that is the most interesting. I'll say that. It's all right. 2 Elvish Ambushes in hand as well. You know, game. I know you like 2s. There's got to be something to this. So I wonder if you do a singleton deck, do you just have better draws in general? Because you break the whole game system down, right? You're like, oh, now you can't double up on me. So what are you gonna do now? You just gonna draw normal? Maybe we should try to create a next tier singleton deck. The only problem with singleton is, you know, the consistency. But if you can consistently have good cards, great cards even, then what's the problem? You know what I mean? I might try that. Like an actual serious standard deck that's singleton. Not because of my whole double theory, because that's just observation bias. Like, you're going to draw 2 of some cards sometimes. And obviously because I've made such a note of it in my head to keep track of it, I'm going to notice it every time, right? But I do think creating a serious singleton deck, and that's what we'll call it. The serious singleton. So, you know, I do love being in a meta where there is available good removal from turn 1 to turn 7, you know, and turn 7's a little exaggerative. Turn 4 realistically is where you can stop at, because you got binding, you got board wipes, you got every kind of removal you could possibly want by turn 4. You know what I mean? You got big, small, all kinds. Costs a lot, costs a little. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about now. Just rambling, waiting on, you know, ye old foe to get out the way. Go ahead and drop our other visionary here. Draw a card. Hey, Sentinel. Centennial. I don't know. Again, we're just looking for our combo here. If I can... This is 6. So a Strixhaven Stadium at this point would be 7 counters? 6, actually, because they have the flyer. Well. Thank you, game. Thank you for giving them this one card. It's funny how when I'm like, hey, can I have this one card? Just maybe one of 2 cards, maybe. And they're like, no. Okay, well, sure, all right. Whew. So, y'all having a fun day? I'm gonna have a fun day. This is good stuff. Good stuff. I can't complain though. I'm playing in ranked, right? this is what you can expect. No fun. No fun to be had here. You want fun stuff, go to normals, where everyone scoops out in the first 3 seconds. That's what fun is all about. That's sarcasm. I'm sorry, I'm laying it on thick this morning, but honestly, here recently I feel like I've been building, you know, I wouldn't say great Magic decks, but all of them definitely creature heavy, and certainly a meta where creature heavy decks don't necessarily thrive. It's just disappointing. You know, you're like, well, the deck may not be finely tuned to blah 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 blah. But if you know, if they could have a bad game or an even mediocre game, really, you know, come out turn 2 attacking everything I own, care about, live for, you know, we might have something. We might have a little something. But you know, whatever. I don't choose this stuff. We just sort of go with the flow. I'm not gonna swing in here. I think we can take out that hateful with our Wildborn, and y'all know me. If I can go down swinging, I'm going down swinging in all kinds of directions. I'll go down flailing if that's what it takes. Faceless. Well, thank God it comes in with Summoning Sickness. Otherwise, that might be a problem. They're gonna destroy my Wildborn at instant speed? Are you kidding me? You don't have a Heartless sack. You're not about that life. If you were, I would know it, and I would inform you to not be about that life. So you can't be about it. You don't have instant removal. No way, Jose. Bum, 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 bum. We're gonna pay 3 here. This will put our wolf. It's not a wolf. It's a fox. I don't know why I always decline and then block. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Jelly beans. Now again, if they have anything, it's gonna have to be at instant speed here, and so far they've been pretty enchantment heavy, so I'm just gonna rely on that fact. Let's hope pray kind of thing. Also, not really where I want to be using my Elvish Ambush, but whatever. Village rights. Right. I probably could have seen that instant speed coming, right? Like, they have I like aggro creatures and I like to draw them all the time written across their forehead. You can see it right here. It's like it's tiny. It's the finer details, all right? So, we're not in a horrible position. I wouldn't say we're in a fantastic one, but we're not in a horrible one either. I don't really know the play here. I don't feel like I can swing in with Preserver, but you know, it's a mono black. They don't have haste. We got them. They have a Faceless Haven, which can attack, but we have Elvish Ambush, so we're gonna ambush them once more, come their turn. What do you say? Non-land permanent. Well, you know, can't win them all. So, what do you go for here now, foe? Another land. Wow, they are drawing lands out the wazoo. I bet you that's what they're complaining about. I'm over here like, nah, blah, blah, blah. Magic. I don't know. And they're like, man, if I could draw something besides these lands, that'd be pretty cool. Are they about to do Agadeems? Ooh. Ooh. I lied completely. Mono Black does have a haste. And apparently this deck is one of the only decks playing it. This is what you get for being cocky, people. You better check yourself before you wreck yourself. That is the quote on my life. So we're gonna go down to 1 life here, and we're just gonna pray they don't have an ability to, you know, deal with that 1 life. Speaking of which, they had this, don't they? Couldn't you just pay 3 life, discard a card, and finish this game? Am I missing something? I mean, this is all fine, right? This is all fine. We're actually gonna have to discard the binding because I want to cast this. So, hopefully they don't have anything else to deal damage to me. Ideally. Feels like a bit of a blunder there, though, doesn't it? Dead weight? Sure, but like, am I missing something? Did they not have lethal haste speed there? Yeah, you know, I mean, that's a thing you can do. I guess something. I don't know. Decline, decline, decline. Hey, look at that. My Wildborn's still alive. Oh, you better be glad I didn't draw my stadium, bro Chacho. Bro Chacho. Man, yeah, I wonder if we can just win just by... I'm going to leave you up, little buddy, because you've proven so useful. But can we actually just ambush, overwhelm, take them downtown? You have to connect, don't you? Just combat damage. Oh, let's go. So as long as Preserver can live, then we're living La Vida alive and well and feeling swell. Arc Fiends, not a big deal. Gonna be a little bit of a problem when it comes to swinging in with the ambush, because of course right now we're creating 8 more 1/1s, which was enough to take them out. Not now, but was once upon a time. And you know they're not expecting another ambush. They might even pop up that Faceless Haven. We'll see. We shall see. I feel like their best bet is... No, actually, you're... I thought your best bet was going to be popping the Arc Fiends up into the sky. But again, they're probably not expecting us to be able to whip this kind of power out from our belt, right? Hold up. If I do this... Alright, that's actually how we should do it, right? That, and then this. Right, Arena. Alrighty. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Creature spells or creatures. Does this not also say activate abilities of creatures? Or activate abilities of creatures? Hello? Game? Can I? No. Wow. That's fun. That's fun. Thanks, Magic. You completely fully working game. You're so functional. You're so freaking fracking mother flipping functional, bruh. All right, so they have 13 life. I'm losing you. I think we could actually win if I just chum block here. Chum block all day. I'm incredibly mad about that, by the way. That's not how Castle Garenbrig is supposed to work. Activate abilities to cast creature spells or activate abilities. That's an ability, right? Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Obviously, I would hate to be wrong. So they gain 1, they go back to 14, but I think this is lethal. Pretty sure we got lethal off the ambush. So it doesn't matter. You know, the game wants to screw me, screw you. It's not lethal. I'm such a child. That is GG though. Yeah. One of us was gonna win here. One of us was gonna lose. I'm the loser. Unfortunately, I wouldn't have had my Wildborn been able to pick up the counters. Oh, this is so silly. This is... I mean, it's Magic in a nutshell, as of here recently, right? Oh, come on, just let me resolve it. Alright, GG game. Alrighty, CG. Seji? Not sure. Two stadiums. 2 stadiums and all tap lands. Two Fabled Passages. That's the 3rd game today. Double Fabled. Out the Ripperoonie. Well, that's fun. But I think I'm gonna politely decline on that one, Magic. Thank you. But no thank you. Now we have the Elevish Ambush, which could potentially equate to the perfect play, but given we don't have I don't know who goes first here. Given we don't have the Jaspera and all that kind of stuff already laid out for us, I'm just gonna call it. So it's mono red again. We're about to get the little frostbite thing, right? Liliana, you know, your avatar looks a little vampiric. What's the big idea? Come on, just use it. Oh, it's shock. Oh, how surprising. Right. Okay. Don't even get me started with what's wrong with what just happened right there, alright? Don't even get me freaking started. I'm gonna play this, and then they're gonna Bone Crusher it, and I'm just gonna be the saddest lad in all the land, right? God, I hope I'm wrong. Again, there's no amount of words to express what's wrong with the fact that this no mono red player is playing shocks. There's and what is actually happening right now? Oh, you know what? I am happy to see that. Happy, happy, happy. It's a giant deck. It's not mono red aggro. Let's go. That's interesting, sorta. I still don't appreciate the shocks. Turn 1, turn 2. Like, actually, what are you doing? Besides just wasting shit. Wasting space in your deck. Shock's not a good card, by the way, people. Unless it is, like, literally just an activating card in a combo thing. It's not a good card. Don't waste your time with it. Now, if I lose, it's not because of the shocks. It's, well, they just came out the gate swinging, right? Actually, it probably would be because of the shocks, huh? Holy crap. I like the idea that the opponent saw a hand with 3 shocks and just lands, and they were like, hey, maybe where's that gonna happen? Come on. Come on. Alright, so we're gonna take 6 damage here from Tectonic Ability. From the giant. Dun, dun, dun. Swing all in. Steal one of my cards. Be a little more predictable next time, Seji. Be a little more predictable. As soon as they went to pass to attackers, by the way, I should have dropped Wildborn so they couldn't have activated Robber. That one's on me. That one's on me. Oh no! Hey, we still were able to negate the ability. Let's go. Big brain plays. Alright. Bass. I say we just let it ride. And so we ride.